Hello, welcome back to Grey the Gold Witch. Today we're doing a reading on what you need to hear right now. There are 4 piles. The first is crystal quartz, clear quartz. The second is red jasper. The third is amethyst. And the fourth is aventurine. So take a second, pause the video if you need to meditate on the piles, and I will see you in your reading. Hi, if you chose pile 1, then this is your reading on what you need to hear right now. So first we're gonna shuffle the tarot. These cards are really hard to shuffle. So, all right. Okay, so we're gonna first look at what you need to hear. That's what the first card will be. The second card will be why you need to hear it. And the third card we shuffle will be any extra information. So what does pile 1 need to hear? Okay. What you need to hear, why you need to hear it, and extra information. Cool. Came out very quickly. Okay. So what you need to hear, pile 1, is the Knight of Coins in reverse. Why you need to hear it is the Emperor in reverse. And extra context is the 8 of Cups in reverse. Okay. Pile 1, I'm getting a lot of messages already. What you need to hear right now is that what you put up with is what you show the universe you deserve. I'm seeing there's something here that you've had a difficult time walking away from, a difficult journey of saying goodbye to it. And I think you've had a lot of mixed feelings on why or what or how this all was going to unfold and what it meant to you. And what Spirit's really saying is that if you take this kind of treatment, then you'll accept this kind of treatment from other avenues in your life. And you're meant to focus on self-respect right now. And I feel like you are meant to show yourself what you deserve and what you'll put up with. And if people are treating you less than you deserve, if situations are treating you less than you deserve, then you must walk away from them. But I'm seeing that you've had the instinct to walk away from whatever this is, but for some reason you fear walking away from this 8 of Cups. And the 8 of Cups talks about having a fear when it's reversed of walking away or hesitating to walk away from something that is no longer fulfilling us. And what I see with this thing, and what I see the energy it's putting you in, is one of stagnation, one of second-guessing your instincts. And for you to grow and empower yourself, I'm just hearing that you have a lot of growth you can do in this lifetime. You have a lot of moves you can make. With this Emperor in reverse, I'm seeing that by accepting less than you deserve from this kind of situation, you're not giving yourself any room to grow to the lengths that you're able to. Because this Knight of Coins is no match to the Emperor. But if you're putting up with less than you deserve from a Knight of Coins type, if you're letting yourself stagnate here, and almost like letting humility be to your detriment, then you won't be giving yourself the right treatment to bring in an empowered Emperor in yourself or outside of yourself. Because what's outside of us is a reflection of our inner environment. And if we are feeling a low self-esteem, or a lack of self-esteem will put up with less than we deserve. And so I'm seeing here what Spirit really wants to tell you is your instincts have been right. You deserve better than this. And for you to raise in your self-esteem, you will have to walk away from this thing. And it's one of those things where a perspective shift will allow you to see that this is empowering you and putting you in a position to grow and evolve and take new chances and open yourself up to new opportunities. But you have to choose to see it from that perspective. And yeah, the Wheel of Fortune's on the back of the deck, and I'm really seeing when you leave this, you will have a turn of fate. You will have a change in how you perceive the world and how you will operate in the world. Because when you choose not to put up with this behavior from someone else, you're choosing not to put up with that behavior within yourself. And there's this new Miley Cyrus song. It's called Flowers, and she talks about how she can love herself better than her past partner could. That's what I'm really seeing for you, is that you are limiting your power and your strength by stalling on this, by not moving forward. And it's almost as though you are holding on to what you know, so you don't have to go into the unknown. But the unknown is where your next adventure starts, and where you'll be able to find yourself at a deeper level. So let's look at some oracle cards. We have Compromise. I'm hearing that you're really letting this thing decide what it's really able to. It's like this thing outside of you or inside of you is not changing. It's in a state of stagnation, and there's meant to be more flexibility in this and more room for growth and change. And I'm seeing that for this to grow and for compromise to be possible here, you have to sacrifice something, sacrifice dealing with this situation. And if this situation is able to compromise and grow with you, then that's one thing. But if you're compromising or sacrificing all of what you need for another party, then that's showing that something's off. I'm also hearing that sometimes people act like, I'm thinking of how kids follow the actions of their parents. So I'm just seeing there's a larger issue here than the little issue you're looking at. And for the little issue to change, the large issue must go away. If that makes sense. Like, if the place, like for example, this is an example of this energy. If you were dealing with a friend who just was really weighing you down and wasn't giving you a proper give and take, and they had a really nasty boss who was just constantly tormenting them about what they were doing, but in 6 months, they had the opportunity to leave that company and have a more empowering situation. So once that happens, they could end up in a better situation where their energy is more aligned with you and they would be better able to compromise. But what I'm seeing here is an inability to compromise from whatever this energy is you're dealing with. And what you need to hear right now is you need to compromise with yourself. And because your needs aren't being met here, you need to really ask yourself, how can my needs be met? And what can I do? And even if you really wanted it to come from one certain thing, I think you had hopes it would come from one thing, you're meant to compromise this with yourself and see how you can get it from other avenues, from other places where you can get that soul food. So I'm seeing this compromise card as being, maybe you had a hope that, or expectations that one pathway would be the pathway that led you to this happiness, or one exact chain of events, and you're meant to just hold on to the essence of what you want and compromise how it plays out, compromise the details. So you have the return, a new story, you decide, alignment, it's coming together. So you decide how you're treated, how you're empowered in this life, and what you choose to expend energy on. And I'm really hearing, don't play into a fantasy here. Don't play into a fantasy of what you wish this was, and instead be honest with yourself about what it is, its reality, and that your life won't change until you take action to change it. And I'm seeing that these changes are right around the corner. And when you make this decision, you'll be able to really change your reality, because I think the issue here is that you are idealizing whatever this is and not taking it for face value. And so by really looking at what you desire out of this, you'll be able to make a turn in your life and align with what really is what you're really craving. My vibes speak louder than my words. I feel like this energy that you've been dealing with is vibrating at a lower vibration, and it's keeping you stagnant. And the Wheel of Fortune upright is a high vibrational energy. And I see that if you really look at this at the core of the vibrations it's at, you'll see that you need something that's more high vibrational. And you're really meant to see how you feel after you spend time around things and places and people, because it'll tell you a lot about if something's suited in your life. But what I'm really seeing is you're transforming. You're in a state of transformation, and that means that your life will be transforming as well. And you're meant to approach this in a way that you trust that what's coming for you is going to be beautiful, and what's leaving your life is going to be beautiful. I mean, it's going to be for the best. So this is like really trusting in the changing tides of your life and letting go of control as much as you can. So we have 2 ego cards. I forgive myself for holding on to habits that no longer serve me. I choose to believe that when I set the intention to have compassion for my emotional experience, I will find I am able to more effortlessly engage in behaviors that better support me. I forgive myself for not making the changes I know would better support me in the realization of my desires. I choose to believe that deeper comfort and fulfillment await me, and I may effortlessly receive them both once I surrender to the shift required to get there. Okay, so the energy I was picking up on that's lower vibrational than you in your reading, I feel like it's either you using coping mechanisms that no longer serve you and don't support your realization of your desires. And I think it's very clear to you what this is. So it's a matter of you really facing it and finding better coping mechanisms for you and changing these behaviors. Yeah. Deeper comfort and fulfillment await you when you make these changes. And yeah, you're meant to just figure out what sustains you rather than depletes you. Waning crescent. This is super close to a new moon. So what this is making me think is that you've almost healed this out, and maybe you're just acting on this instinct or this behavior as a maladaptive coping mechanism, and you're really meant to let go of this once and for all and trust that you'll find what you're seeking, and you don't have to fear the unknown. Yeah, we have opportunity last. I see that when you let go of this behavior, you're making space for new to enter your life. And you're making space for the universe to send you what you're desiring. So, yes, what you need to hear right now is that you're meant to move forward in the highest vibrational state that you can, and you're very well aware of what no longer aligns with that in your life. So you're meant to, with this girl's fire in her hands, I'm seeing this last leg of this journey is in your hands. And it's your choice to move ahead and focus on that high vibration. So, yes, you have to will this into happening, and then I see higher vibrations coming to match you. So this is what I'm getting for you, Pile 1. It was an honor to read for you. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of my readings, and I'll see you in another video. Take care. Bye. Hey, Pile 2. If you chose this red jasper stone, then this is your reading on what you need to hear right now. So we're going to look at the tarot cards. The first card is going to be what you need to hear right now. The second card is going to be why you need to hear it. The third card will be extra context. So for Pile 2, what do they need to hear right now? 1, for what you need to hear right now. Okay, we have why you need to hear it, and we have extra context. Okay, so what you need to hear right now is the 2 of Cups in reverse. Why you need to hear it is the 9 of Swords. And extra context is 7 of Swords. Pile 2, what I'm hearing is that new information has come to light on some relationships or a specific relationship in your life. And I think you're feeling a lot of confusion about why this has played out in the way it has. And what Spirit's saying to you is that you deserve to feel peace in this situation and know that you kept your side of the street clean here. And I'm hearing eternal sunshine of the spotless mind. Like, I think that movie might be helpful for you. It's about basically the underlying moral of the story is you're meant to be thankful for the experiences you have and accept whenever they're gone. And I'm seeing that it's very difficult for you to let go of this relationship. But what Spirit's really encouraging you to do is be grateful for the time you had and know you did everything right in this situation. You were a very good person, and you are a very good person. And sometimes these relationships fall apart. Like, this is how life operates, and things change, and it's just very real. And if this, for some people, like, if this is difficulties in a relationship that you're really trying to resolve, it's not in your hands how this resolves. This is in the hands of the other party. And what I'm seeing is that you are not meant to have anxiety about this, and trust that whatever way this goes, whatever way this pans out, it's going to be in your best interest, because I see you're very protected here. And maybe this person has come clean about some of their actions in the past, and it's given you a new layer of clarity on how this relationship has developed and why it is where it's at right now. So I'm seeing that you have dealt with grief and shame and guilt over this situation. And what Spirit's really saying is that you're not meant to put this on your shoulders like that. And that whatever way you can find ways to relieve anxiety about this, you should use. And whatever you need to do to take care of yourself, you need to do. Because I see that you take great care of what you value. And something you value has come to the end of its road, I'm hearing. There's just something in your life that you have to let go of. And Spirit's saying, have no fear. Like, what I'm really seeing is this being Spirit wanting to, like, hold you through this. And know that what Spirit really wants to say is that right now, in the setting you're in, it feels very big. But in the perspective of eternity and reincarnation and the eternal life of your soul, you'll have many opportunities to explore this and to take care of yourself. And right now you're just meant to show yourself love and do what you need to do to feel better. And I think you're meant to find sunshine in your life away from this thing, and you never know what will happen in the future, but I'm seeing that there might have been a codependency here that Spirit's urging you to acknowledge so that it has less power over you. So we have, I forgive myself for neglecting others in an attempt to avoid being asked to share more than I feel I am capable of sharing. I choose to believe that when I am open and honest about what I am willing to give and when, I strengthen the bonds between myself and those I love. Okay, so I'm seeing this in regards to the person that you're struggling with. I think that they are in a place where they are incapable of sharing or giving their energy. And so they haven't handled this in the way they needed to. And whether this be on an energetic level or them doing direct things to hurt you, the reason this hurts so much is because they weren't open and honest about what they're willing to give and when. So the bond between you guys has suffered. And I see this person's esteem is very low, self-esteem, so they've brought you down too. But they don't feel they have enough to give you, so they've ran away. So whatever this breaking up or difficulty in this relationship is, it really comes from their incapability of giving. It has nothing to do with you. What Spirit really wants you to do is move away from this energy and stop wondering about what could have been, what should have been, and focus on what is. And realize this person couldn't communicate effectively, that they didn't have enough to give. And this is just, like, I feel like this is Spirit saying this is just how it is, and you're not meant to take it personally. And let's see what else Spirit wants to say about this. Open. Say yes, expand through the extremes, trust life. You're meant to trust life in this and stay open to new opportunities, new relationships, new adventures. You're meant to say yes when people invite you to do things right now. Expand through the extremes. This is painful, I'm seeing, but you can expand through it and be open and receptive to things that can give to you right now, that can share, that can communicate. Because I think this has really hurt you, and that's because you have a need for communication from the people you care about and value, and you have a need for honesty and a balanced give and take relationship. And so you're just meant to stay open to what Spirit's bringing into your life, because Spirit's bringing you what you feel is not there. So you're just meant to be open to receive it and to trust in it and trust that whatever is leaving your life is protection from spirit. And it says nothing about you that this didn't work out the way you wanted it to. Just open yourself up for the baseline of this to come to you in another way. Okay, so now we have the moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. And my happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. I'm really seeing that you're meant to realign with this self-love, with this love especially for yourself, to realize what you deserve and have direction in how you want to move forward. And I think if you get really attached to the narrative or perspective that this person neglected you or left you or hurt you, or if you tell yourself a story such as like, you weren't good enough or whatever, that is the farthest from the truth. And if you trust that this has left your life because it wasn't aligned with you and your value and your worth, and you deserve so much better, if you trust that and trust in that Spirit's always providing for you, and you choose what perspective you have on this, and if you let it hurt you or if you have faith in it and trust in it, you'll be much happier. So when you notice yourself slipping into that negative thought process about this, remember there's an infinite amount of other perspectives to look at this in, and most of them will make you feel a lot better than the negative ones or the shaming ones or the ones that make you feel disempowered. So we have ask for help from others and the situation will improve. There's other people in your life who can give to you and show you love, and you're meant to be receptive to these energies rather than pushing them away because you're hurt by this specific energy. And you're meant to know you'll feel better. And with the dolphins here, they're a reminder. Some tarot readers talk about this, but they're a reminder for me of Soul Tribe. I really see the people who are meant to uplift you and empower you coming into your life. And just because it didn't exactly happen the way you'd expected it to, doesn't mean it's not happening exactly the way it's meant to. I'm really seeing that you're meant to lean on the support of others right now rather than isolating. So do what you can to be receptive to those energies and trust that things are getting better and you will feel better. And people will meet you where you're at and give to you in the way that you need. You don't want to disillusion yourself or pretend that someone's giving you what you need when they're not. We have Earth. We have solar eclipse. Okay, there's a solar eclipse coming up, I think in April, and that marks Taurus, the beginning of Taurus season, or late April is Taurus season. So I'm seeing something significant happening for you around that time. I think a solidification of what energies are meant to be around you and the energies that give to you rather than take. And this is a timeless reading, so whatever Earth season is coming up for you when you're watching this reading is very significant, as well as the next solar eclipse. So take it how it resonates for you. However, I'm really seeing a lot of change happening around these times and you feeling a lot more certain of where you're headed and who you are and what you deserve. So trust that this is growing right now. And although there's mystery around this, you're going to be much more liberated from the situation by that point. And we have learning. Okay, so this experience came into your life for you to learn and evolve from it, and for it to teach you something about yourself and how you respond to the world and perceive the world. So trust that this is a beautiful moment on your path, even if it doesn't feel beautiful right now. Because I'm seeing the lessons you take from it are shaping you into the person you're meant to be, and for really beautiful blessings on your journey and in the life you're creating. So I'm also seeing that researching right now could be helpful for some of you, like researching attachment styles possibly, or something of that nature. But learning how a tree properly grows and what nutrients are needed for that to happen. I think that's what you're learning right now, is sustainability and nurture. So take it easy, pile 2. This is a situation that is disheartening, but I think you'll rise in your confidence because you're going to be able to look at it in a different way and trust that better's coming in for you and more care and love's coming in for you. And we accept the love we think we deserve. So yeah, pile 2. This is what I'm getting for you. It was an honor to read for you. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of my readings, and I'll see you in another video. Take care. Bye. Hey, pile 3, if you chose this amethyst crystal, then this is your reading on what you need to hear right now. So we're going to look at the tarot first. And the first card is going to be what you need to hear right now. The second card is going to be why you need to hear it. And the third card is going to be any additional information we need. So for pile 3, what do they need to hear right now? Why do they need to hear it? And extra context. Okay. So for pile 3, what do you need to hear right now? The King of Pentacles in reverse. The Page of Swords. And the Six of Cups. Okay, so what I'm hearing is the situation you're dealing with is much less stable and reliable as you think. And I think you've been really trying to figure out this situation and whether this could work. And Spirit's saying you are dealing with too immature of an energy. And this energy is not developed enough to come with you on this next phase of your journey. It's just not able to withstand the pressure that of the life that you vibrate on. I'm hearing that like you are at a high energy, and low energies can't just jump up to that high energy. They have to push you down to theirs. And what I'm just seeing is whatever you're asking about, or whatever you've been dealing with, whatever's been weighing on you, what you're meant to hear here is that whatever this energy is, be it a person, a place, or a thing that you're dealing with, it acts way more confident than it is. And I think there's a very deep abandonment wound here. And this person needs to heal separately before they're able to come towards you. And I really think they're terrified to come out of their shell here and be transparent about who they are. And I feel like they're on a really shaky foundation in their life. And they don't want you to see this. There's something about visibility here and them fearing you being able to see through them, or this situation fearing you being able to see through it. And what you need to hear right now is that whatever's happening here is in your best interest. And I almost feel like you're not even emotional about this. You're more logical. You're just like, hey, like, why is this not panning out in a favorable way? Like, I can perceive that this situation is attracted to me, or that this situation does align with me in some fashion. But what Spirit's saying is that there's an undependability here and immaturity here that you're missing, that you don't see. That's why Spirit's blocking you from this, is because the values that you deeply care about are lacking in some area here. And I feel like you aren't able to see that. Maybe it's in your blind spot that this is occurring. And so the reason that Spirit's blocking this is because of a difference in values and priorities. And what Spirit's really saying is you can't will this to change. You can't will this situation to be better for the sake of it being better. Like, it's going to be what it is. And you can't project a false identity around, or like around this thing or whatever it is, or false perception. You need to be logical about it and live in the reality of it. And the reality is that this is not aligned with you. And I think you see this with rose-colored glasses, and the truth is that it's just not what you need to focus your energy on. It will disempower you, and Spirit's really wanting to keep you at a high vibration. And I can tell this is a disappointing thing, but I think it's also something that you can take and accept and realize that something better is there for you. It's just a matter of you aligning with it and not taking less than you deserve. So this is why this hasn't come in the way you wanted it to. And yeah, it's just not on your vibration. So, and life is just vibration. We either attract to things, we're repelled by things, or we're indifferent. And this energy is, although you see areas in which you both attract to the same things, you repel in your core values. So this is meant to teach you to see when these core values aren't aligned with you. So we have, for the oracle cards, we have Temple of the Rose, Ancient Power, Expression, Activation, Scarlet Codes. You're really meant to understand this lesson and understand why this wasn't aligned with you. I think that you can see what aligns, but you're meant to see what doesn't. And that'll help you in activating and in being who you truly are. What about this doesn't work for you? What is wrong? Like, I think that when you find that, you'll find a lot of truth and power in yourself. And I'm just seeing like a seed of inspiration coming from you having this moment of clarity on why this just doesn't align. And it's bringing you into a much more powerful position where the right things align to you. And you're just meant to trust on your relationship with Spirit, and that Spirit's bringing you in your highest direction, and everything has purpose, and everything you're learning has purpose, and you can take something valuable from anything that happens. And I see feminine energies around you right now that are very loving and platonic, like it's just friend vibes. I see that being what you are more meant to focus your energy into is friendships that align with you on this heart level, that aim for maturity and stability in spirit and who that person in core values. Because I think that whatever this thing was lacks very important values to you. And you're meant to register what that is so that you can bring that in with more clarity and consciousness. So we have, it's up to you. So I think you can struggle with this energy for a while and go back and forth and just see how it unfolds. But if you realize that the baseline values are misaligned here, and if you really look at this for what it is, you'll be able to move forward faster and into what you're truly aligned with faster. I think this is like a distraction on your quest for your fulfillment, and you're meant to see why it's a distraction and why it's not the right path. And from there you can move forward. So this is all a matter of perspective and realizing that you might be looking at something with rose-colored glasses. And you're meant to align with things that truly have that essence rather than what you hope would. So you can tackle this energy as long as you'd like to, but I'm seeing that you'll inevitably be drawn elsewhere, that this isn't nurturing, or this isn't soil you can grow off of or plant off of. You need something more nurturing. So we have Grand Trine. Yeah, I see a very powerful moment happening in your future where you really know what way you need to expand, and you're really surrounded by the energies you're meant to be surrounded by. And this is predestined, and this is just not one of those energies. And this energy could never substitute one of these planets. And you're meant to find these planets in other people and find what aligns with you and what's meant to elevate you to your next chapter, or to whatever spiritual lesson you're meant to learn. And I'm just seeing that what you think, there's something in this energy that you think is right, but there's something you're overlooking here that shows that it's wrong for you. And you're really meant to analyze that and see what that is. There's something about quiet confidence and needing to prove yourself. And I think that if you watch that in this situation, you'll see something artificial that you hadn't noticed before. I think Aquarian values are also very important here, and in some way, what you are trying to align with lacks those values. So we have, I forgive myself for thinking that I know better than life itself. I choose to believe that the exact circumstances needed to create the experience most suitable for me are perpetually being created, regardless of what I think or do about it. So Spirit's kind of laughing here and saying, yes, you might think this is the right direction, but we are going to take you in a different direction. And regardless of what you do about it or think, you're going to be led the right way. So your Spirit's really saying that you can do with this what you will, but you're inevitably going to be brought into a more harmonious, aligned state. And a better use of your energy is to spend it with empowered women and empowered feminine energies that are platonic at this time than any other situation. Like, this is where you'll get your soul food, and it won't be from other avenues. So we have Ascension. Yeah, so I think through these steps, through this process, you're going to ascend and really get on this next level. And this is your end. Like, this is where you're going. There's no doubt about that this is where you're headed. And it's almost like you're fixating on like a temptation on the road that isn't truly where you're headed. And Spirit's just telling you this. What you need to hear is that the reason this isn't working out is simply because it's not aligned with your true purpose and where you're meant to go. And Spirit's basically saying, not that way. Let's go this way. Let's turn around and really face the direction we're meant to. So this is like there's something better out there for you kind of reading. And if you analyze why this isn't working or what's really going on here, I think you'll have a lot more clarity on your direction and what you're meant to do with your life. I think that there's a secret within this scenario that will give you a lot of clarity if you it's simpler than you think. Just look at it, and I think a key will unlock for you. Like, this situation could reveal a lot to you about yourself and your journey on Earth. So, okay. So I'm going to pull a couple more cards because this reading has been pretty to the point. So what does Pile 3 need to hear from the goddesses? Okay. We have Persephone, cycles. Man, Persephone's been following me around today. So you're meant to realize the cycles you live in and the ways you let people take control over you. And there's this passage in this book that talks about how the innocent, bright soul always attracts the predator. And there's something here about being on guard and standing up for yourself and not letting in lesser energies. And I'm just seeing that you have this power, and you're meant to fight for autonomy, and you're meant to fight for yourself, and you're not meant to let anyone stand in the way of your path. And you're not meant to give your power away to anyone. There's something about reclaiming your body here and allowing yourself to see the truth even when it's difficult. So to close, we're going to look at some affirming tarot cards. So we have, I trust myself to see the truth. That's literally what I just said about allowing yourself to see the truth. And I have everything I need to prosper. There's something about feeling like you need someone else to complete you. And with the Queen of Pentacles here, or something else to complete you, or to affirm your worth, or to give you more worth. And you're meant to see that you have everything you need to prosper within you. No one else can fulfill that for you. And maybe there's a hard truth here about you trying to get self-esteem from other people, places, and things. Like, it's called other esteem when you get self-esteem from your job, or your level of education, or your romantic partner, or the list goes on, how much money you make. Like, that kind of esteem will never satisfy your soul. It's finding complete self-esteem from within, just by being who you are and doing esteemable acts for yourself, showing yourself giving yourself ways to know that you have this self-esteem. That's where you'll find this worth and value. And I think you're looking for it outside of yourself, and that is where Persephone and the Queen of Pentacles are coming in here to say that it's within you. And it's more simple than you think. Okay, pile 3, this is what I'm getting for you. It was an honor to read for you. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of my readings, and I'll see you in another video. Take care. Bye. Hey, pile 4, if it shows the Aventurine Stone, then this is your reading on what you need to hear right now. So we're going to look at the tarot cards, and we're going to look at what you need to hear right now. That'll be the first card. The second card will be why you need to hear it, and the third card will be additional context. So what does pile 4 need to hear right now? What does pile 4 need to hear? What does pile 4... Okay, so this is why, this is what, and additional context. Nice, okay. So we have the World, the Ace of Cups, and the Moon in reverse. Okay, what I'm hearing, pile 4, is that a new cycle is starting, because the last cycle you were in wasn't giving you what you deserved. This has been a similar pattern throughout the readings, but what Spirit's really reiterating here, or trying to drive in this point, is that you deserve beautiful, beautiful experiences, and they don't want you to settle for less. And someone didn't see, or something wasn't valuing you for all that you are and all that you deserve. And what Spirit's saying is that this beauty is coming in, because I think you consciously register that your cup was being drained, your cup of love, of nourishment was being drained by this experience, and you didn't feel connected to the path you feel you are meant to go down in this experience. And I think you felt drained and unsure of what's happening next. The next full moon's going to be very significant as well. What I'm seeing is that what Spirit really wants you to know is that all of the dreams and happiness that you hope for, all of the beautiful experiences will happen. But it's important for you to realize that what you need out of the experience in your life is for those things to come balanced and in a harmonious, high-level state. And if they're not reciprocating that, because you're in that state. And if they're not reciprocating that, they're not going to be able to give you what you need. So I'm seeing you knowing this, but not maybe wanting to realize it or like really face it, because you want to see things a certain way. But you're entering a new cycle now where what you are seeking is seeking you. And I just see this being very beautiful because you're owning your confidence, you're owning your worth, and you're not taking less than you deserve here. And Spirit's saying don't lose your dreams and goals and aspirations, because they're all coming. It's just you reclaiming your narrative and reclaiming the fact that you deserve the best and won't put up with less than the best, and really cherishing yourself and being a good person to yourself and expecting that from whatever you deal with in your life, and trusting that the universe is supporting you and conspiring to make the best things happen for you. I see you as crossing this bridge into the unknown, and you're also meant to realize that nothing can save you, nothing can complete you. You complete yourself. And there's something here about changing your perspective to realize that you are your own savior. You are your own caretaker, and you can't save anyone else either. And I see the more you own your power, the more you stand up for yourself in your life, the more you'll be rewarded. So I want to look at oracle cards next for additional context. We have the Mystic Rose, compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, grace. You have this very high vibrational spirit. I see that you have this compassion, this devotion, this humility, and like love for humanity, and this grace. And Spirit wants you to have experiences that help you integrate these qualities and expand on them, and that really honor this beautiful person you are. And if there's things, I feel like there's things in your past cycle that were testing you to make you prioritize these qualities rather than letting them be depleted. And you're going to have your joy and be aligned with things that love your compassion and devotion and humility and grace. And these things are going to cherish it for all that it is and really see the beauty in your spirit. And they're going to praise whatever higher power is out there for giving it to you as well, for giving you these gifts. And I'm just seeing that there's a reverence with which you're meant to look at the world, and I see that you do. And because you walk such a spiritual path, what the events and situations surrounding your life, it's very much of the utmost importance that they are in line with your spiritual path and help you grow on it and empower you. And I'm seeing a shift happening here that's really going to take you into a happier, more fulfilled place. And I think you have this compassion and you want things to stay the same, but you're meant to let these changes take you where they're meant to go, because having these gifts is a blessing, and you have to be very strong to hold them. People might, I feel like society looks on these traits and sees them as weakness, but you have to have a lot of strength to be weak. Yeah, don't underestimate yourself here. And trust that things are working out the way they're supposed to. We have peaceful resolution. I feel like you're going to be at peace with how these things turn out, how life turns out. And you're just meant to loosen your grip and trust that things are working out the way they're meant to. I see some discomfort in the changes in your life right now, in not knowing where this will lead. But I'm seeing that it will be very beautiful for you. And you'll be very grateful for the road you're led down. And Spirit's asking you to just release your grip a little bit, to trust in the path you're going down. And I think seeing rainbows will be significant for you. Black Moon Lilith. I think you have some desires and hope in terms of romance and feeling that there's something about what you desire in this life, and feeling as though you were going down a pathway towards it, but it kind of hit a dead end. And Spirit's saying that the foundation of whatever you build with this desire has to be spiritual, because if it's not spiritual, you make this thing your higher power. So what Spirit's saying is that you must lean on me, you must lean on Spirit throughout this, and use Spirit and whatever higher power you follow as your main focal point, as your North Star. And these things you dream of, these things that you desire, can happen with that foundation. But I'm hearing that if you don't have that spiritual foundation and that faith and that trust, these things will really, it'll be like a tower moment of crumbling. There will be destruction from these desires. I'm hearing, there's this quote that's like, these violent delights have violent ends. And you really need to be grounded in a spiritual framework for these intense desires to come about, or you'll lose yourself in them, and you're meant to find yourself in them, and you need that spiritual lens for that to happen. So we have here and now. The change you wish to see happens in the present. I was talking with someone recently, and we were talking about how the quote, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. And that's from Kung Fu Panda. Maybe that would be significant to you. The wise turtle says it. And I was talking about a turtle in another pile, so you might have been drawn to that. Anyway, I also like that the number 4 is here, with you being the 4th pile. Everything's interconnected and things are working out the way they're meant to, and you're meant to have more trust in the universe and you're here and now. There's something about you coming to believe that a higher power can restore you to your sanity, and for you to turn your life over and surrender to the things you can't control, because there's some desire here you really want to have come to fruition, and you need the right foundation for that to happen. And we have, I forgive myself for thinking I need others to understand my dream before it is safe to pursue it. I choose to believe that when I alone honor my desires, I allow for the emergence of a truer version of myself in alignment with my highest potential. We have, I forgive myself for thinking that I cannot find belonging by being true to who I am. I choose to believe that the more I make time to understand myself, the more easily I step into the experience of intimate connection. So I think Spirit's putting you in a time of introspection and a time to focus on yourself, so that you can focus on your desires and become a truer version of yourself that aligns with your highest potential. And I think you're meant to understand yourself more and grow in who you are more. And so these things haven't come in because you're meant to grow in your relationship with Spirit and with yourself, and really to pursue your desires alone. And yeah, I just see a lot of beauty in this, and that you're very protected, and that everything that's happening is happening for a reason, and that Spirit is really guiding you to the most beautiful things and beautiful experiences. And I think you'll feel very empowered and true to yourself in them, and not like you've had to sacrifice who you are. Because I feel like you do have a subconscious belief that you can't belong by being true to who you are. And you have to rid yourself of that before you integrate into the situations you dream to. Thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perception so that I can see what is of the highest good. The universe has my back. Yeah, the universe completely has your back in this entire situation. The full moon, like another full moon's here, and I think full moons will be really significant. You're not meant to fear what's happening here. You're meant to expand your perspective so that you can see that what's happening here is of the highest good and is in your best interest and is going to lead to a lot of happiness. So trust where you're being led here, and know that Spirit isn't leading you astray, and that you're going to be very happy with how this turns out. You just have to trust that things are working out for the best. So we're going to look at the Goddess Oracle cards now, for any goddesses that want to come through. Sekhmet, Reduction. When this card comes out, it really reminds me that things have to be removed from your life so that more can expand. Like, you have to, there's this old fairy tale that talks about how this old woman came into this, like, witch's house, and like came to be nursed back to health, and the witch took 3 hairs from the old woman's head and rocked her back and forth all night. And by the morning, she was a young child and ready for a new day. And that's what, it's kind of a metaphor for ideas and for life experiences, that when you take away some things, it can be renewed and seen in a new light. And I see that things in your life are being removed so you can be renewed and go towards new things and have a new perspective on your life. So trust that Spirit's doing this for your highest good and is teaching you more about yourself and your relationship to the world and to Spirit. And I really feel just like a beauty and this is a really good thing that's happening, and it's because of the beauty you hold within you. So let's look at these cards for final messages. We have, I trust that I'm always safe and protected, and I'm free of whatever is holding me back. Okay, wow. So what Spirit's doing right now is freeing you of the destructive patterns in your life and teaching you how to always feel safe and protected. Maybe some of the things that are leaving were illusions of protection and safety, and they're allowing you to feel, because they've left, you're feeling more safe and protected. And I feel like whatever these things were, they were crutches that were holding you back. And yeah, I'm just seeing a room. What you need to know now is whatever is happening right here is room for you to expand and move towards your true potential and what you're meant to explore. And you're really going to follow your passion, and individually as a person. And yeah, this is just very positive. You're headed in a very positive direction, and you're very protected in this. So yes, Pio 4, this is what I'm getting for you. It was an honor to read for you. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of my readings, and I'll see you in another video. Take care. Bye.